We lie. We
kabisa.
lie.
Episode number 61 ama
61 it is.
my god.
Eh?
If we were very cheeky, we would
Yes.
actually do another show in
Mhm.
a strip club when we're in episode number 69 to commemorate that you're on 69. It will
Eh,
be some
young, eh?
weird high, but not just a cheap brothel, some high class brothel with witches. Hopeless. We are celebrating episode number 69. It's gonna be real. Luti family karibu. This time umefika mapema,
This
utapata
time nimeona Lute
utapata
family
mnofu.
anataka karibu
This
sana.
man has been,
Karibu
this
sana.
man amekuwa akikunywa supu na kuramba mifupa hapa for like 5 episodes non-stop. This time amesema I've had enough of eating
Today
scraps.
I'll be here on time. And he
Karibu
certainly
sana.
has.
Mm.
Yeah, man. So how's the week been?
As usual, boring, but we
Mhm.
don't seek entertainment. We seek to attain goals. Goal seeking is not about how entertained you feel, but it leans more on how you are hitting the correct spots. Are you going off spec? Are you hitting the targets? Are you sliding off? Are you catching yourself? That is how it is. Of course, there was the sad news about demise of members of our armed forces. We just wish families may just. It's a very trying time for them. So I think prayers are with them.
I mean,
Lut
looking at how
family
this
alisema he moved into a canal boat. Ile boat ambayo mtu is that long boat, then there's somebody operating it from the other end. Ama what is he referring to? Sio ndo canal boat ama
I don't know. Does he live in a
it's
boathouse?
normally long. It is like a motorhome, but it's a boat with the cooking facilities, beds, what afina kwanga ndefu. Then there's
Send us a
somebody.
picture.
Yeah, here it is. Let me. Yeah,
No,
we.
not yours. I want to see the one for Lute family. Lute, please
Oh,
send us a picture. Oh,
huyu jamaa anatupima tu. He's measuring us.
anatupima.
He's measuring
Anatupima.
us.
Send us a picture, Lute family. Do you have do you have his number or something?
But he should be hearing us.
Can he send through your WhatsApp or something? How will we get it?
Maybe you can paste on the comments. Is it possible? Paste it
No.
on the comments.
You can't take an image.
Ah, walikuwa
Not unless he
anatuenjoy.
puts it on a link and then he
No,
shares the link.
anatuenjoy. No, seriously.
Anyway, tutaona hiyo bot. Later on tutatumia hiyo canal box, canal bot. Sikia canal box.
Nimekutumia how it looks, alafu umekutumia picha ingine
Okay,
ya
let me look at it.
is a schematic. Just sent you. I've sent you two pictures. I'm sending you two pictures. One of the boat and another one
Oh,
of a schematic. Zinakwanga mrefu, then you see somebody hanging huko nyuma. Hiyo ndio where you control it from.
like the gondolas of Italy or something.
Ile but for Italy ile ni ya kubeba watu. This one you can live inside. You dock, and then you live inside.
Let me
My
show
only
you.
fear is labda kama something is loose na kati umelala maji yanze kuingia. When I prefer to sleep on terra firma because the moment unless you're in some sort of tilt alarm when the boat is tilting due to water. Ndio hiyo.
So he actually lives in this. Man, that's interesting.
Ndio hii amenitumia. I'm sending them to you. Man, this guy is serious.
Okay. Yes, ndio amesema no, seriously. So he meant it.
He meant it. Man, these guys, there are guys here who have actually, they are moving away from the matrix.
It seems
My
like,
God.
is he going off grid or something?
Huyu jamaa, he is saying goodbye to the matrix. My Lord. But
Man,
yake inakaa a
interesting.
bit small. Looks a bit small.
Still,
But
that's a
but
major move, eh?
it still qualifies as a ninio. My God.
So it's
This guy is
images.
actually huh?
Where does he live? He lives in Australia, or where is it?
I'll talk to him. What?
So it's this first two images, eh?
Yeah. My God.
Excuse me. So he
Okay,
just moves along.
he doesn't want the pictures to be broadcasted on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's give him his privacy. Man, these guys are winning. These guys are winning.
Thank God you said that. I was about to share it. Yeah, it's good
In
that
fact,
he has mentioned.
I'm deleting them from my.
Off.
Let me delete them
So how
from
is
my
he
own.
internet?
Huh?
Oh, he lives in.
Huh?
Excuse me. He lives in England. He lives in England, on the Grand Union Canal. Wow. So how is he getting internet? Or now they have probably docked somewhere in a little town.
You can
Luther, how
get
you
internet. You may have just a temporary, what do we call it?
So he's probably using
a router that you can, a mobile router, portable router that you can switch on and off whenever you want. So switch on, switch off, disconnect the SIM card, and you move around. Man, this is winning.
kudos Luther family. I mean, this is interesting. You need to come and tell us more stories of this life of yours.
If Nairobi River was clean, this could be possible in Nairobi.
Oh yes.
If Nairobi River is clean.
Boat houses, they are almost semi-permanent because they are stationed in one place, but that's the house.
But they can move around easily, so you don't
They
have
could,
solar panel
use
generator
solar.
connected to the internet is hotspot on phone, and there's a star. Man,
There's a Starlink. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I
unbelievable.
thought. I was about to ask him about the Starlink.
And what
And
about washroom facilities?
Oh, they're inside the boat, I imagine.
Does it have
Have
like a mobile waste treatment unit? Because you can't discharge waste into the river direct. Should have a... Oh, okay. He moves to a different place every 2 weeks. So
that's amazing. And Luther, you have kids. But this is interesting life to live, eh?
So for washroom facilities, you go to where you park the washroom facilities, you go to the like a hotel or something. Wow, this is marvelous. I know someone who lives like this, but on the road he has a motorhome.
Yes.
They are called schoolies. It's called a schoolie because they normally convert school buses. You know those yellow school buses?
Yes.
They convert them, and he just drives around wherever he wants to go. So he does his thing, then just drives to wherever he wants to drive. I think they've already done their due diligence. He knows in his circuit this way he's going to get these facilities. So there's no crazy neighbors, sijui stima imepotea, sijui nini. As long as you have secure parking spots, you are good to go.
Would have a compost toilet and a cassette toilet. I saw this cassette toilet with the mobile homes. So it's
Mhm.
literally a cassette you pull
Oh,
out. It will have all the deposits and everything.
okay.
And of course, depending on where, like I've actually been, it's interesting you're talking about mobile homes and stuff because I've been watching a YouTube couple that, has been moving around America. Now they're in Japan, and they used to talk about, because they were testing out different motorhomes. It could be one made from Ford or another different manufacturers, and the aspect of cassette was one. And so what happens is when they happen to move to a different sort of camping spot, the camping spot typically provides for places where they can dispose this kind of stuff. Interesting life. Hey,
So you have a
tell you,
place where when you get to the place where you
yes,
park, there are areas where you can connect, like a connection for exhausting the waste. Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Wow.
I empty it every 2 weeks. Yes. So whenever he's now moved to a different location, I
Mm.
guess that different location. And how long, Luther, do you intend to live this life? And
You can
it
do
seems
this
like,
forever.
I tell you, it must require some very meticulous planning. So, I take my hat off to many of the people that embark on this life. Many might see it like a more of a carefree, gypsy type life, but
It needs
it
a lot
does
of
it,
planning.
it requires a lot of planning,
Mm.
and then of
But
course
but
if
you
you're
see,
money.
once
How
you get it right, it becomes very smooth.
exactly,
Especially on the aspect of scenery change. It's nearly therapeutic. You can't get bored with the location. So what
exactly,
I
and
and there's
yeah.
someone who does that with that motor. Others use motorhome. Others are using a schoolie. So that is just.
And you get to disconnect from all this barrage of information and whatever. As he says, 100% off grid. So maybe every 2 weeks is when he gets to get to access the internet.
Imagine being offline for.
It's,
Right
it's
now
a,
we are at a
it's a
point where you go offline
very,
for 1 hour, you have a crisis. It's like, hey, you are
exactly.
blowing up the internet supply. The phone is ringing. Yeah, I'm doing some work. We are not doing any work. We are just scrolling around. You okay, need to have. Wow.
Yes, and that was also what that couple was saying. You
Mm.
sort of become very handyman. I'm sort of a handyman, and not just a handyman. You could be good at what? You could be good maybe with carpentry. You could be good maybe with machinery. But this one calls to you to be good almost with everything, because one day you'll wake up, you'll have a plumbing problem. The following day you wake up, you have
You
something to do
see,
with the engine.
I'm also I'm
So
also I'm also looking at a business opportunity. You see, these guys, they move along a canal, correct?
yes,
Now, you can come up with your own business whereby you have your own boat, which is actually a toolbox boat that operates along the canal, and these guys have your contacts. And it's a sort of a speedboat because these ones, the canal boats, are quite slow. This is a bit of a fast boat that is operating 24 hours. You have your own a small team of two guys operating 12-hour shifts. In that the moment a call is made, and as long as they are on the canal, you get to the point very quickly. Just thinking business, monetization. Call it now. This is a canal boat, what is called a fixed boat, a fixer boat, or a tool boat, whereby you have, uh,
service, yeah.
yeah,
You know, it's kind of like a dialer, a 911 of
for the canal.
rescuing on the canal.
Yes, so we have a high speed boat that has a plumber, a mechanic or an electrician, something like that. So you are always parked somewhere at a vantage point. The moment a call comes through, you rush, so to make your money. So monetization is, I think sometimes we simply sell ourselves short. We sell now. I normally know that they are normally, it's actually a community of these canal boaters. There's a place where there are many, but you can't be all alone on that canal. There's a group, there are number. They may be isolated from each other, but it's actually some sort of a community, a canal community. If you introduce that service, you may be the only one there. Where you call at the dead of the night, the boat will be there, sirens blazing. You have a plumbing issue, electrical issue, mechanical issue. It's like an what you call those highway rescue, something of the sort. Yeah. So now for the canal. So I think opportunities are there. We are the ones who don't want to think deep. Yeah. Somebody is already
Interesting.
thinking like me. He's calling them workboats. Me, I call them toolboats. They are called workboats.
Mm,
Supply diesel, nini, kila kitu. Magical, magical, magical. It's beautiful.
ama- amazing. Lute has some has a lot of story in him, and we need to probably see if we can get him one time, and he can tell us more about his life. So yes, so we're talking of the recent demise of our CDF.
Mm.
Um, it's interesting to see how much that man has. I mean, I was is the news of his passing, and yes, he's someone who, of course, who holds quite a high place within our government. But he seems to have been a person who has impacted quite a number of people that he has come across in the way he carried himself. I mean, just listening to the eulogy, the respect, um, and it goes beyond even Kenya. I even saw the President Kagame here send a message of condolence to our President Ruto. So that speaks a lot to the man and his life.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
I've also just
You,
seen that Oyer, you remember
yeah,
Mike
Oyer has
Oyer?
also crossed over. I saw it on
Yeah,
my Twitter feed. No, Facebook timelines. So Michael Oyer has also crossed over to the other side. Such is the way of life, man. So the time you're alive, please make that impact, man. Being alive is a gift, and it's like you complain. We complain so much about life, but we give right now. We give you a rope to hang yourself. You won't hang yourself. The moment if gunshots ring out, you're not going to stand in front of whoever is firing that gun and say you want to die. You'll duck for cover. You die for cover. You flee for cover. That means life is precious. But now life comes with so many things. You don't have like a sieve so that you uh, what do I call it, to sieve out the unpleasant stuff. You have to take it all. The good and the bad has to come together. So if you say you want to enjoy only the battered side, I think that's a fool's errand. Should be a lesson or a reminder that there are those who have gone before us, and if you ask them, should you give you an opportunity to live an extra day, they'll take it. So let's take this opportunity. Let's sort of make sure that every moment you spend breathing, it's worth it. Either impact to you yourself, to people around you, because you never know whose number will be called out, man. You're like you would think that such things are
like
associated with countries like things happening in Palestine, you see people dying in wars, and you somehow think that you are sort of immune from that. Then you are told, so and so passed away. Like, how? Uh, it is what it is.
Yeah, such is life. It's quite fickle. I
Mm,
guess it's a reminder to us all that we make use of the time that we have on
mm,
this little rock called the earth,
mm,
and use it wisely.
mm.
Because I know sometimes, we would tend to say, because for him, he was what? I think he was 62-year-old. Michael Year, I don't know. He must have been maybe in his, maybe a late 40s or early 50s. Let me see what was his age. And you could say, he's still young and all that. And yes, we've seen people that die when they're still in their prime. Um, it's no appointed time. It's not like you're entitled or guaranteed you live that 80, 90-year old. Um, I think it's just to make use of what you have. Maybe today could be anyone's last day. Um, what have you done for the day? I think it's quite a poignant. How do you say it? It's quite an important thing to remind ourselves. And I know many a times we waste a lot of time. I know myself sometimes I procrastinate a lot. Um, so yeah, this is quite it's quite a reminder. Um, yeah, this life, we are all sojourners. We are all passing by.
We are always living on. You normally say, in this world we don't own things. We rent
Mm.
them, because that house
Yes,
that you bought and you pride on it, that you didn't buy it by mortgage, you bought it cash. You actually rented it because you're going to die and leave it here. Then maybe your family, due to the fact that maybe it's firing up a lot of memories of you, they'll want to sell it. Someone else will buy it. Your favorite car, someone is going to say, hey, we don't need this car anymore. It's going to be disposed of. Your clothes, don't even bother. And even your own family, after a decade or so, they'll even stop missing you. They will heal. They will heal so well, and there are going to be very joyful moments in that house. It's like you never existed there.
that's true.
Mm. A
That's so
time will
true.
come, someone will walk into that home or into that house, and they won't imagine someone from this family died. Maybe there's a birthday party going on or whatnot. There's a graduation party, or they are receiving long lost relatives. The atmosphere, you won't believe there's someone here who passed away. So within no time, even you will be forgotten by your loved ones. Okay, not forgotten,
Forgotten.
but what do I call it? That heaviness of the heart will lift
Yeah,
off, and
we'll lift.
life will continue like you were never there for your loved ones. That is, they may have a memorial for you once a year, but a couple of days of the memorial, people will be going to work, nini kila kitu, processes will be going on. So make use of your time, bro.
I
You
wonder,
you are.
what kind of mindset somebody needs to have. One, to realize you're just a speck in the world. you know,
You are just, huh?
you might think we've seen even the mightiest die, but the world continues.
Yeah, like who imagined Michael Jackson would die?
Exactly.
But here we are. Here we are. We are moving on like he never existed. The only thing that is keeping it here, him, is the music. Now, what you may do is whatever you do, ensure that your impact is so outstanding that when you are gone, like now, his music, you can play Michael Jackson's music, some of the music he did in the 80s, over 30 years ago, and it still has a nice vibe,
It still has,
like
definitely.
Black or White, Bad, Billie Jean. This music has a vibe, something that you can nod your head and tap on your foot on the floor and sing along in the 80s. Now, we don't know about his children, but we know his music. You know his music. So whatever he did, he went hard. And in fact, I used to look at his routines. His routines were abnormal. He was a perfectionist when doing his work. So that's why we have a problem. I don't know if it's a problem or is an the way we think. In this part of the world, we say your legacy is your children. But someone says his legacy is his work. His work is so outstanding that he's gone over things that he did over 20 years and you still feel its effect. If you look at somebody like, say, the Wright brothers who invented the aeroplane, who knows his children? If you bump into somebody, remember this is the great great grandson of Orville and Wilbur Wright, you'll say, oh, okay, so. But the work they did, what they started, such that you can travel from London to Nairobi in 6 hours. That will never be forgotten, whether he had children or not. You don't know his grandchildren, you don't know his descendants, but you know that because of his work, you can now get from Nairobi to London in 6 hours. You can move from Nairobi to Mombasa in 45 minutes. So at the end of the day, I think you can do, you can have more impact in this world beyond reproducing. If you look at these things like the Bernoulli's effect that is used in now modern day on the actual industrial manufacture of aeroplanes. Even the Wright brothers were using the Bernoulli principle of creating a lift. Who knows where Bernoulli's children are? Are they may I've never heard of anything about his wife, his children, but without his work, we'll not be having uh, the air travel. If you look at people like there's this guy, I forget his name. He's the one who invented the lift. He's a black guy, he's a black American. He's the one who invented the elevator. You know,
Hmm.
he invented the elevator. Then there's this white guy called Otis. You know, when you go to most buildings, the elevator is
Yeah,
written Otis.
yeah.
Otis created
Hmm.
the elevator braking system, enabling the elevator to stop between floors.
Uh-huh.
What these other guys, let me just see. Invent elevator, quick one, inventor, elevator, inventor. Let me check quickly. Wait. Quickly. Yeah, he was called Alexander Miles. He came up with the concept of a cubicle moving within being suspended and moving up and down along a building in a shaft. Then
Hmm.
Otis came with the braking system. Now, these two
Hmm.
people, who knows their children? We don't know their children, we don't know their family, but we know very well if you are to go to Afia Center, KICC, go to Mombasa Bima Tower, or whatnot, if you are told you are going to climb 15 floors and there's no elevator, you'll say, let me call me when the elevator has been repaired. But you don't know somebody, you don't know his children or what. So it's a wake up call, especially for us in this part of the world where there's nothing wrong with that, but we tend to put a lot of emphasis on saying your legacy being in your children. Yet when you are told Do you know the name of your great 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 grandfather? You will have to go asking around. So I'm not saying that you don't have children. No, yes, you have kids as you want. But look into, is my name, is will the name Andrew Mutua one day be used in a certain computer concept or a certain course in IT, the Andrew Mutua concept, where people will be asking, who's Andrew Mutua? Then they say, oh, it's the guy who came up with this. They don't know your children, they don't know where you used to live, but they know there's a concept called Andrew Mutua that is used maybe in some algorithm or in certain network infrastructure is based on the Andrew Mutua setup. Without that one, the system fails. Now that one, no offense intended, but that one carries more clout than your children, because that is where people will earn from. That's where jobs will be created. That's where people will be employed. Somebody will be asked in an interview, please explain to us the Andrew Mutua concept. That is what it will be a key interview question. Is someone seeking a job as a network administrator? He doesn't know you. In fact, we may be at a point where the so-called woke generation who like using fancy names, they won't know even Mutua is a Kenyan name. They learn the concept without knowing you. Then one day through Wikipedia, they'll be reading, oh, this guy used to ramble on some funny YouTube channel over 40 years ago. Hey, okay, okay. Your name is stuck in history. The same way Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, that one hata ufanye nini? He's there. Because when he made the landline, the telephone landline, mobile phone came after that. So it's a wake-up call for the time that we are here. Please start something. And don't be in this situation whereby you start while thinking of you start pale itafika itafika. See, some of us, we tend to overcomplicate things by thinking, oh, hii itaenda wapi, how. No, you start, you have the idea, run with it. There are people who have died, someone took up that thing, and the name of the initiator still remained. That contraption that Olive and Wilbur Wright made flew for 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Where in the world do you fly for 12 seconds? Even if from Athi River to Kitengela, you won't take 12 seconds. You'll probably fly from my apartment to the shop here. I'm up Barabaran. That's how 12 seconds will take you. Very insignificant, nothing home to write about. But where are we? So
Exactly. So you might be the initiator, not necessarily the one that will see it fully to completion, but you do it to a point that somebody else can be able to take it up and
yeah, don't overcomplicate things. Like when you were dealing with the first bike, the guy I was dealing with, I used to ask him, now, how much is it going to cost? How then from here? No. Listen, we are at initial stages. We practically have nothing. Why are you bogging down your head? You have money, jenga paka hapa, pesa imeisha, weka kando. Don't take your money ya kununua mswaki kuweke kwa hapo. Where you don't want to go around with your mouth smelling. You live your life. Pesa ikipatikana, jenga, fikisha hapo, such that building becomes
go on, sorry.
So that the building becomes an integral part of your daily life. Imefika hapa, haya pesa imeenda short. Okay, do you have an extra money? Hatuna. I'm expecting some money in 2-3 weeks. Okay, see you in 2-3 weeks. But the moment you bog yourself down, sijui nini, I want to be like Suzuki, I want to be like Bugatti. Do you know how these people started? Some of them started in worse conditions. Orville and Wilbur Wright, the inventors of the aeroplane, were bicycle sellers. They used to run a bicycle shop.
I didn't know about that.
Well, these were bicycle dealers and repairers. So if you tell you we are at Boeing, Airbus, Embraer, the F-16, whatnot, and the initiator of this concept used to be a bicycle seller, I don't know, in 1911 or what. So why are you putting yourself down? See, we normally you want to start something, then you say, hey, sasa I'm doing this thing. Nitafikia watu kama Suzuki lini? When will I get the level of a BMW motorcycle? If that is what you are bogging your head with, then you won't start.
Yeah.
If you
That's
want to
true.
set up your own system of computer network infrastructure, you say, hey, nitafikia Microsoft kweli? Then you won't start. So that's why they are normally a blend of two things. As much as there's the discipline, you also have a tinge of passion. Passion will make you start the race. Discipline will keep you in the race.
Mm.
You may have the discipline without the passion, you won't start. Passion is like that gear number one to lift that vehicle off. Now that you are moving, now maintain the discipline. But you may have the discipline but no passion. That means you won't start. You'll end up coming up with the plans, Venn diagram. Inaitwa Venn diagram ama ni ile ambayo mnachora ati by this month I should be doing this and all sorts of PowerPoints and matakataka kila aina. But the passion is what keeps you running. And there are times discipline may take a hit. A tinge of passion will bring you back into the game. So, as I said before, as regards these gentlemen or these individuals who have left us, you have you don't even know how much time you have. You don't know how
You
much
don't.
time you have, and you don't know
And
how much
it's
time.
not saying
And
that
maybe
building needs to become part of you. It's it's not just a means to something. It's a way of living. Maybe to put it more succinctly. Um, and also that idea that you say, I think trying to go too much ahead of yourself, trying to think, oh, when will I become a Toyota or Suzuki? That's not for you. I think the best thing is to deal with what is the problem you're trying to tackle now. So maybe for you, I guess, as you're building your motorcycle, it could be fixing the brakes. Once you overcome that, then it becomes something else. Once you have a working prototype, then it becomes, how do you make that prototype even more efficient, more sleeker? How do you continually, so it's a game of just continuous improvement. You overcome one hurdle, it opens up to another new set of problems. As they say, problem solving is a never ending effort. um, it's just an aspect of what new questions are you going to have to push you ahead to progress, to now take the second step onwards to whatever you're working on here.
yeah, we normally say if you find yourself you've gone for a very long time. My late grandmother used to say, if you find yourself for a very long period without any problem, ask yourself when are the problems coming? Because I think they are somewhere accumulating. They're accumulating like a gas and they are going to explode on you. And since you don't have a problem handling muscle memory, you'll sort of collapse. You'll turn into a pile of heat. Or else also, if you find yourself continuously not having problems, chances are you are in a coffin 6 feet deep. Huko chini
You're
hakunaga
dead.
shida. You are dead.
There's no growth, as they
There's
say.
no problem. Yeah.
You're not growing. What are you doing?
You are regressing into bones and dirt.
Yes,
But
you're
as long
dying.
as there's breath inside you, man, it's in fact for a continent like ours that is full of problems, these are money making opportunities.
Mm,
Mm. These are money making opportunities. The more problematic your situation is, the more opportunities for making money. And it
mm,
doesn't necessarily have to be a problem. Any situation, like when we were in a certain space and we were complaining that Valentine's Day has become commercial, but there's somebody who has made an order for greeting cards. I don't know from where it's going to supply to the gift shop. So
Sorry
yeah,
about that.
no issue. As I was saying, like at
Mhm.
one point, people are complaining that Valentine's Day is commercial, but someone has somehow managed to secure a tender to supply gifts and cards to these outlets. He's making money. You are busy complaining. He's busy making money. He wishes every day was Valentine's Day. Someone has come up with what you call uh, Valentine's temporary Valentine's interior design setup for Airbnbs, whereby you can just apply these things. It has a theme for Valentine's. Once the Valentine's is over, they can be plucked off. Either you are selling them to the Airbnb owner or you have them for hire. The same way you have the Christmas lights. Somebody wishes every day was Valentine's Day. And I don't know why it should not be taken as negatively, but the key is monetization.
It is. I
So,
think the point is always ask yourself which side of the equation are you on? Are you a consumer
yeah,
or are you a producer? Are you
yes,
gonna, make something out of it, or are you going to be a complainer?
there's a
I was
complainer.
actually a friend of mine who I was joking with her, and she was saying, for me, I am of the principle that love should be celebrated every day. It's one of those politically correct statements that
Wonderful,
people want to say. And yes, it is true,
wonderful.
but
Now, that
you
one,
know,
we can sell
the
it, we can sell our
reality,
flowers every day. That is a ready
yes,
customer for flowers. We can even set up for some sort of a weekly gift program. She can be buying gifts every week.
not a forest camp.
Hmm?
I remember their days. I had a girlfriend in South Africa, and I remember surprised her one time when I was not even in the country. I was not in SA at that time, but I contacted a company, a flower company, made an order online, gave
Kinuthia,
them to
Romax.
address the address to her house. She came in when she was just driving into her house at the gate. She gets this message, and then I was feeling I'm like a hero, man.
You are the people who benefited during my
Yeah,
tenure as
that's
media
something out of
were
me. Yeah.
the people who benefited were people at supermarkets where I used to buy these gifts, and the people who are selling gift wraps, and the
Yes.
people who are doing gift wrapping. He gift wraps for you nicely, then you tip him something. Those guys benefited. I even there was a time at my peak Kinuthia Pro Max, I wrote a poem. I wrote a poem. Hmm? You are
Did
you
a
are
point.
you are you are the only yam fufu in my egusi soup. Hmm? So
The sense of
as much as we castigate this life of the Kinudia Dome, if you find a situation whereby you can make money out of a Kinudia, please go with it. You're not robbing him. You're simply
yes,
taking advantage of a situation. And the day he stops being a Kinudia, more power to him. There are more Kinudias around. These people sing R&B music, you think they're very romantic, ah? Yeah, ameona their characters here were still mash. Wacha tuwatolee nyimbo kali ya mapenzi hapo waende wakidanganyana. People like I remember, I think people like Boys to Men, Joe Thomas,
yes.
these people made millions from the Kinuti activation
They still
industry.
do.
Eh?
They still
So
do.
they still do. Eh?
Yeah, I mean their music
So
is still played, and
eh,
you still enjoy. There's a guy
so
who dedicated that song from Boys to Men to some lady somewhere.
where kwa redio
Kwa redio. Unakumbuka zile
during
zilikuwa
the
night
love zone,
quiet
the love
songs.
zone. Ilikuwa
Ilikuwa
inaitwa the
inaitwaje?
love zone, the love zone.
The last song.
Kwa Metro FM. Yes, I will cross the ocean for you. But in fact, me, but
Do it
but
for you.
but maybe I used to literally cross the ocean for a lady when I used to go visit her across the Likoni ferry. Sio ni kuvuka bahari.
You can do it
Yeah,
even later.
I did literally. I boarded the ferry to go and see her. So She used to live in Diani and I was in town. Every weekend, I would get on that ferry and cross the ocean for you, and I would sit on the top part of the ferry nikipigwa na upepo to get inspired so that I can come up with more hot lines. And the people who are selling gifts, people who are selling women's clothing benefited. And as much as tumetoka kwa hiyo maisha, I guarantee you, you have been replaced 10 times. For every guy who leaves the canoe, there are 10 more people replace him. It's beautiful. So that at least you can say they keep the economy running. Nani
That is,
atanunua hizi
yeah,
vitu? They have a place in the ecosystem. The same way the presence of things like cockroaches and
that
flies will ensure
multi-
that the company which
yeah,
makes insecticides is in business.
yes.
Wewe unasema you hate cockroaches but yule mtu anatengeneza dumu kwamba mwiku imeenda zikipotea, huyu jamaa dumu atapata wapi mshahara?
Atakula wapi? Atakulia wapi?
Utakulia wapi? So uh, it's like positioning. Wewe unasonga, mwingine anachukua. You move away from this position, another one takes it, and that's how the world runs.
Yeah,
And
I think if you find yourself at any point either complaining about a situation, just realize you're victimized yourself because you've not put yourself in a point where you can take advantage of a situation.
mm,
I mean, maybe not all situations are going to be situations that you take advantage of, but if it doesn't concern you, then leave it. But if it's a situation that you can take advantage and monetize it in some ways, then don't be a
run with it,
complainer. Monetize.
run with it, run with it. Like we used to discuss something called the concept. We try to, you are somewhere you throw around ideas and whatnot. We used to think of a concept called uh, car to bus system. The car to bus system is like a 32 or 44 seater low floor bus, air conditioned whatnot, that targets car owners. Air conditioning, it has Wi-Fi, kila kitu. It's actually set up like a series of small offices inside the bus whereby you can sit, place your laptop there, do your work. The Wi-Fi is fantastic. So you go somewhere, park there, the bus is waiting for you. It tells you which points the bus is dropping. So with those, you are stuck in a traffic jam, but the condition is such that you can actually have a conference in a bus. You can begin your day before you get to the office. So these are the things we are discussing. So that one, you are taking advantage of the jam. So rather than complaining about the jam, see how I can turn this situation around. Then you can mix it up with an Uber, such that if he wants to move around during the course of the day, he's not going to back to where his car is parked. He can move around that a taxi or a small electric car. So you just look at the situation and say, in fact, the most profitable entity in this world is convenience. People will pay top dollar for convenience. Why do you think the concept of this, what is it called? Takeaway food, food ukiletwa ofisini. It's not that the food is extra nutritious, no. You save time.
Exactly.
The food is brought to your office, have your meal, pay, and you are back to your office immediately. As opposed to you go downstairs, you sit in that restaurant is full, waiting for your order. Nini, after eating, then you walk. While you are walking, you bump into your uncle from sijui Busia. You start talking there. Oh, sijui nini, nini. You pass by, you are standing next to a newspaper, Mara breaking news. By the time you get to your office, an entire 2 hours has disappeared down the drain. So someone read that mathematics. If I can deliver meals, it's not a must that they are overly nutritious meal. A decent meal that lands on your desk at exactly one sharp. So you can finish your meal by 20 minutes. That means by 1:30 you're already on your desk, grinding hard, especially if you're an entrepreneur. So people will pay top dollar for convenience. because it is, if you analyze this situation carefully, it is this in between movements that where the unasikia muda umeenda, you don't know where the time has gone. These transitions from here to here, from wapi kwenda huku kwenda hivi rudi, if you do an audit, you realize in 1 month you wasted an entire 24 hours. You go to lunch, sijui nini, at lunch you bump into an old friend, mnaanza story, oh campus, pitia kwa ofisi yangu sijui nini, mnachapa story huko. Now you start rushing back to your office at 2. Fika ofisini 2:30. An entire 1.5 hours has disappeared down the drain, which you will not recover. So if you total that for over a year, you'll be shocked. If you do the hourly calculation, you convert into days, you may find an entire 3 weeks has disappeared. And as an entrepreneur, especially if you are employing people, 3 weeks, if you convert into hours, that can give you a shock. You can even collapse if you look at the monetary value of those 3 weeks that you've just wasted, and not wasted doing some transitioning, going here, returning here, then you go there, you bump into someone, then you meet someone. Distractions are very funny. You meet someone whom you are trying to arrange. Kuna deal nilikuwa najaribu kupiga, sasa nimekutana naye. You start working on that deal, and that deal hata ukija kuchunguza, it's taking you nowhere. So this thing, convenience, can turn you into a millionaire. Let me just see. Kuna kasimu kame. Just hold on a bit.
Okay, yeah, we can actually even wrap it up now.
So
Yeah,
no problem.
let's-
Nasema thank you so much to Sharif Mustafa, Lute family. Lute family, thank you so much. You made it on time. This time hukupata mfupa na mabakshishi ya supu, you got a real meal. Sharif Mustafa,
Sharif, a bit
Lone
late
Wood
leo.
audience. Amechelewa lakini huyu ni member. Bahali yake pale kushinda. Very much okay. So from Athi River, we say adios.
From Kigali, Rwanda, signing off. Thank you. Have a good one.